I literally didn't even care about tryouts until I literally
I was born in a thunderstorm. I grew up overnight. I played alone, I played on my own. I survived. Hey, I wanted everything I never had.
So, this story starts out in 8th grade. In 8th grade, I went to a junior high in the district where my mom lived. I had some problems in that school. So, around the end of the year, my mom decided that I needed to go live with my dad, and I had to go to the high school that my dad lived by. So now, I really wanted to go to the high school that I had grown up in that district where my mom lived. So we're going to call that high school number 1. I had to go to high school number 2. In the ending of 8th grade, I wanted to try out for cheerleading, but I couldn't because I was made to move. So when I moved to high school number 2, I was only there from like August to like November before my mom finally let me come back over there because I did not want to go to that high school. This story gets really, really complicated, so I suggest you get some snacks. So, high school number 2, I did not like, but I ended up taking dance 1, which I don't know how it is in you guys' districts, but there's like dance 1, dance 2, dance 3, dance 4, and then there's a dance team, and there's a cheer team. I took dance 1 as a freshman. So, when I moved to high school number 1 after November, I was still in dance 1. So I get over there, and I am, of course, the cockiest freshman. I think I'm awesome. I'm always dancing around and everything. And the dance teacher tells me, hey, you should really try out for the dance team. Mind you, I am a dancer. I don't know why I wanted to try out for cheer, but I just did. The reason why I had to go live with my dad is a completely different story that I will give you guys. That this video is already going to be long. This video would be way too long if I had to explain to you guys what that was about, why I had to move over there. So, I decide, you know what, I guess I'm going to try out for dance. I really wanted to do cheer, and I don't know why, because I'm a dancer. So, most of the girls in dance 1 at high school number 1 did not like me. And I don't even think it was they didn't like me. I was just really cocky. And, like, I didn't say it. I just would dance all the time. And, like, I would just be obnoxious and dance, like, in the corner constantly. Because I was bored with dance 1. Because I've been a dancer for a really long time. So, fast forward to high school number 1. Not high school number 1. Fast forward to tryouts. Tryouts were in March. I decided that I wanted to do dance team in April. Like, I was for sure going to try out. So I'm not really like into it. Like, I'll do dance team if I want, like, I guess. So I decided to try out for varsity team because I felt like I had been a dancer for a while. Like, oh, I'm gonna make varsity as a freshman. Like, yeah, I'm cool or whatever. Boy, was I wrong. So I had to learn a dance in 3 days. The problem is I can do the dance, I can't remember it. So I did not remember that dance at all. So Monday started, we learned part 1 of the dance. We learned the JV part of the dance. Day 2, we learned the varsity part of the dance along with kicks. And then day 3, we just kind of like did show-offs and like we had more time to practice. On the 4th day is the actual tryout day. So I pretty much have learned the dance. I kind of forget some things. A huge problem with this dance was there was a right leap in it, and I'm a lefty, so I do really good left leaps, but my right leaps, I honestly didn't even know how to do a right leap at the time. So when I decided that I was going to do a left leap instead of a right leap in the dance, I knew that it was going to be a problem. And to make it even worse, the dance teacher kind of called it out. She was like, hey, you're doing a left leap, you're supposed to be doing a right leap. And I still did a left leap. So fast forward to doing the dance at tryouts. The coach is not allowed to be a judge. So we had 3 random judges that we had never seen before, and the system that they do it off of is yes, no, maybe. So if you get 3 yeses from a judge, you make the varsity team. If you get yes, yes, maybe, you make the varsity team. If you get yes, maybe, you get callbacks. Callbacks where you have a second chance to make the team. I knew that I was going to make JV. I just didn't want to do JV. I really wanted to make varsity. So we basically went back into the room after we did the dance. And I did a left leap anyways because I was like, they're not gonna notice. Like, I have a pretty good left leap. They're not gonna notice. The coach comes back in and she goes, so we have a lot of callbacks this year. And she's calling names, and I am praying that she does not call my name to redo this dance because I barely even know this dance. She called my number and she goes, you have callbacks. So I'm walking to go back with her to where the judges are in the gym. Because right now we're in the dressing room. So I'm going to the gym to do callbacks again with a group that I have not danced with at all. And she, like, I just start having a panic attack. Like, I just start crying. My ankle was kind of hurting, and I just kind of, like, freaked out because I was, like, I didn't think I was going to have to dance again. And I just, like, and then my coach the coach turns to me and goes, you're going to give yourself a panic attack. You need to calm yourself down. So I'm trying to calm down. And we are paired with people that are like around the same height as us. So I did, most of the girls that I tried out with, because I'm so tall, they were already on the team. So they didn't have callbacks, obviously, because they have to retry out. But honestly, it's not, they're on the team. So I am freaking out. I know at this point I am not gonna make it. I go in there, I completely mess up the dance. Like, there's no denying, like, they should not have even put me on JV. Like, I messed up the dance pretty bad. And I decided, let me do a right leap, which my right leap was terrible, so that was even worse. So there was that. And so after callbacks were done, they told us, thank you, you can go home. The list will be posted tomorrow after school at 4 o'clock. I knew in my heart that I didn't make varsity. At this point, I had really had my heart set on dance team. So I was pretty disappointed, but I went home, I prayed, I tried to prepare myself. I even looked on Google, like, not making the team, everything, like, just trying to prepare myself because I pretty much knew that I didn't make it, but I still had some hope. At this time, my household, not my dad and my mom, but my stepdad and my mom were going through a divorce. My mom was in a completely different house. I was going through all of this. Come roll around the next day after school, I go and check, and I immediately go to the varsity list, and I didn't see my number. I was so crushed. I was already going through a lot, so I guess it was just like the icing on the cake. And I already knew that I did not make it, but I guess just thinking I'm not good enough, and like just knowing that I have to go back to school with all of the girls on the dance team that honestly really didn't like me. And I have to basically like face everybody. I was so embarrassed. I didn't even want to tell my mom. So fast forward to the summer. I have pretty much gotten over not making the team. I made JV, but I decided that I really didn't want to do JV for a whole year. I needed to come back and make sure that I wanted to even dance anymore, like it was that bad. But the crazy thing is, the whole time I did not cry, like I did not shed a tear. I actually tried. Like I feel like if I would have cried, I would have felt a lot better, a lot quicker. But in around July, I'm completely over it. I decided that I'm probably not gonna try out again. Just because I didn't want to go through that embarrassment. Like, I guess I shouldn't be embarrassed, but I honestly was. Here I am. I've been dancing since I was 4 years old, and I can't even make a high school varsity dance team. So I go to, in August, I end up having to go back and live with my dad, my biological dad. I have to go back. I have to switch high schools again. This time, I stayed at that high school for a semester. Again, long story. I'll make a story time of all of this. So I end up having to stay there for an entire semester, and they have tryouts at weird times. It's crazy. Like, they have tryouts in November right after Thanksgiving, and high school number 1 has tryouts in March. So first semester is August through December here where I go to school, and then second semester is January through June. So first semester I stayed at I almost said the name. I stayed at high school number 2. So I decided to try out for the dance team at high school number 2. Let me tell you, the dance team is so good. They don't even have a JV team. They just have varsity. Like, that's it. So it's a varsity elite team. I decided last minute that I, like literally the night before tryouts, I decided that I was going to try out. So I go through tryouts. This time, do you remember when I said that I'm not good at remembering dances? Yeah, we had to not just learn one dance, but we had to learn 2. We had to learn a jazz and a contemporary dance. Now, I am good at both of these styles. We had to learn 2 dances in 3 days. And we had to come up, like, we had to show off our splits and stuff, and that's fine. I have my splits. So I'm going through this entire tryout thing, just going, literally getting up, not going to sleep until 12, getting right back up at 5, going to my garage and practicing. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to remember both dances. In my head, I thought, okay, let me make the jazz dance really, really, really good, and like just kind of like fizzle through the contemporary dance. Come tryout day, I get dressed with all of my friends. We're practicing, and I get a call that my niece, my stepsister, and my sister-in-law all got into a car accident. It wasn't bad or anything. It was like a little bump, but like I didn't know everything that had gone. So this is me going on right before I have to go try out. So I think I did pretty good for what I could remember. And there was also an improv section, and I'm good at making stuff up because people who aren't good at choreography are good at improv. So again, the coach comes in and says, we have some callbacks. I'm like, please don't call my name. Please don't call my number. She goes, 131. That was my number. And I go, great. So I'm already tired. I was the last group to go because I'm pretty tall, so and they go by height. And so I just went, and now I have to go again. So I'm like still panting from doing 2 dances, and I go in there, and I forget the jazz dance, and I had the jazz dance down really, really good, and that really sucks. And we're gonna find out if we made the team that same night, because there's a party for the girls that did make the team. And so this time I kind of knew that I didn't make it again. Like, I know when I'm gonna make it and when I'm not. I called my mom. I told her that I probably didn't make the team. That was devastating. I was so devastated. Like, I really wanted to make that team. They are such a good dance team, and I felt like I could really grow on that team. So of course I went and checked the list, and I didn't make the team. That night, my mom came and picked me up. She gave me flowers and everything, and she asked me if I wanted to go back to high school number 1, because I remind you, tryouts at high school number 2 were in November, and tryouts at high school number 1 are in March. I had improved so much from high school number 2 because they have a really good dance program. So we were pretty sure that I would make varsity for my junior year. I decided that I did want to change schools for more than just dancing. There was a lot of things that went on at high school number 2 that I just didn't like, and I didn't grow up with those kids. I missed my friends. So I had 4 months to prepare for tryouts. This time I think tryouts went really well. I learned the material so quickly. I decided to video some of the veteran girls on the team so that I could go home and watch what they were doing. And I should have done that from the beginning. And we get from tryout day number 1, tryout day number 2, tryout day number 3. And I had the dance down pat. I have freshman girls coming up to me asking me, how do I get my kicks so high? They also added a lot of things in the dance that I was really good at, so I could show all of my strengths. I'm a turner. In the previous year, there weren't a lot of turns in the dance. They were mostly jumps, and I mean, I'm good at leaps, but I'm a turner. Not only did they have a lot of turns in the dance, I also got to showcase my turns in the improv section, because now we had an improv section. So we finished on the actual tryout day. I was feeling really good. I felt good in what I was wearing. I just felt great. And after I came out of that room, I knew that I had made it, because I worked so hard, and I'm about to get so teary-eyed, I don't even know why. I worked so hard over the year to make that team, because I didn't even want to do dance in the first place, and I ended up wanting to do it. And it felt really, really good when my name wasn't called for callbacks. I was like, okay, well, I either didn't make the team, like they're not even going to give me another chance, or I like for sure made it, and I was so for sure that I made it. And for some reason this year we were going to find out the same day, like 2 hours after tryouts ended. So tryouts ended, all the callbacks are done, and me and my friends are all waiting in a circle, like waiting at the school so that we could all find out together. And one of my, I get distracted by something, and one of my friends pulls it up, and she goes, oh my gosh, I made it. And I look over it, and I immediately see my number. I screamed for hours, not hours, minutes. And my mom was outside waiting for me to pick me up, so I decided to trick her and tell her that I only made JV. And then when I told her that I made varsity, she was so proud of me. And I was honestly really proud of myself. I was smiling for weeks. Like, it was just so surreal because I had conquered studio dance. I conquered clubs at my school. I conquered hip-hop, which hip-hop was a huge challenge. So when I finally made the dance team, or the team that I really wanted to make, it felt so good. And it just felt like it was the first time in my life that I have ever felt like all my hard work had paid off. And it felt like everything was like going into place, like everything was falling into place. And it felt amazing. So I just wanted to let you guys know that if you keep trying and you keep going back and you swallow your pride and you try again, you will persevere. You will in the end win, and you will get what you want. If you keep practicing, you keep going back, you keep trying out, you keep auditioning, you keep putting yourself out there, you will persevere and you will succeed at whatever, whether it be basketball, dance, cheer, softball, volleyball, anything, because not making the team sucks. It basically feels like you're not good enough, and you are good enough. Sometimes it's just not your year. Sometimes they're looking for sometimes it may not even be what you did. It just may be the look. That you don't have the look that they want, or you're not the height that they want, or you're just not right for that particular year. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I sure enjoyed making it, and I hope we all learned something from it. And I think that this could help a lot of people. That's why I decided to share my story, even though I was kind of a little embarrassed because no one likes to just tell the world that they didn't make the team. For you guys. Bye.